What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday night. We are here for day 3, officially, of free agency. Apologize, no Fan Friday with your Fan Friday questions and all that great stuff, but we're still live, and I still want to hear from you, and I still want you to be excited with me as we get ready to go back to back and build this dynasty here. I see all the chatter out there, and I've been real busy at work this week, so I appreciate you all bearing with me at these late videos. But, I see some of the chatter here, and that's fine. Let them continue doubting us. We know how this works. We came into this free agency with a couple of things we had to do, and we've accomplished them. And, we knew we were going to lose people, and now we're adding depth pieces, and then the draft will come, and Howie will continue to be Howie, and he can sign, trade, do whatever he wants. So let people keep sleeping. We're wide awake and we're ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to break down all of the signings the Eagles have made. We're going to recap all of the things that the Eagles have done so far. The free agents added, lost, anybody we've traded for, the picks, all that great stuff. So appreciate you all taking the time here tonight. Hope you're having a great week. Ready for the weekend. Let's effing go. But let's go, sickos. Anything on your mind? I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to run through this information in a second here. Let me jump over here real quick to the comments. But appreciate you, Brandon, my man, tuning in, and love to hear it. Love to see it. Always welcome to have some diehard fans in the family. So looking forward to hopefully hearing from them. If not, hopefully they just enjoy the content either way. But hello to you, Tiffany. Hope you are doing well, my man, Michael. Hope you are well also. Let's effing go, you sickos. And, look, I'm going to have to try to keep this one around 15, 20 minutes with you, but we're going to get into it. And unfortunately, no Fan Friday questions for you members, but I promise next week we will be doing that. And you guys, I think that you're great regardless of what the show is, but we're going to recap everything here. And I hope you're ready to rock and roll. Troy, my man, let's effing go. Yo, AHG Trail, let's rock and roll on this Friday night. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff, man. I hope you guys are having a good week, really. It was nice for a second there. Then it was cold. Then it was nice again today. Now it's kind of cold again. It's been weird. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Let's just get nice out because I'm tired. Tired of the cold. I'm stuffed up right now. You can hear it. It's been an intense week for me. Not going to lie to you. Brian, my man, hope you're doing well. But one thing that kept me going was free agency. So let's talk about some of these free agent additions and surprise of the day for me here. We talked about it. Not sure why Rick Lovato hasn't been re-signed yet. And, well, I don't know that he is going to be re-signed now. Just kind of seemed like we would bring him back. Still, a decent age there for a long snapper. But, okay, they're moving on. And we're picking up old Charlie Hughlett here. And, sure. Yeah, this will be his 14th season. He was undrafted in 2012 out of UCF by the Cowboys. He was signed as an undrafted free agent. Then he went to the Patriots, Jaguars. He was on the Patriots a couple times, a few times even, I think. Jags with the Browns a couple times because he went to the Chiefs and then he went back to the Browns. So, no doubt, 152 games. He actually has 26 tackles and even forced a fumble at one point. So, hell yeah, 6'4", 248. Charlie Hughlett. Maybe we look for a younger guy in the draft. I'm not sure. But apparently, this is the veteran presence we're bringing in. I guess maybe we'll bring in some competition, but this could be our new long snapper. So there he is, old Charlie Hughlett. That's all I've got for you. Maybe I could, piece together a nice highlight film of him, snapping the ball back. So hell yeah, man. Charlie Hughlett. Now, let's talk about another special teamer here. Now, Avery Williams, you guys remember, and I wish I would have done a return specialist show, like with the specialist stuff. I usually do that, but nobody ever watches those ones when we get into free agency. So this year I was really cutting it close with the time, so I just cut that out. But this was always one of my targets when, we talk about guys that are strictly return specialists. Now, last year I felt pretty good, with what we had. But, clearly we lost some pieces that are returners and Rodgers and Gainwell. And, I think Covey is gone and I don't want to see DeJean back there. But you've got a guy that came into the league as a cornerback, was moved to a running back, and he hasn't ran the ball in a couple of years. He missed all of 2023, but he is somebody that, is just one of those weapons. He's got a skill set that put the ball in his hands and he makes things happen. So, I mean, I'm a fan of his game for sure, but, obviously we've talked about him here on the show before, but 26 years old, going into his fifth season, 5'9", 200 pounds. You see his kick returns last year. He had 15, 408 yards, a 27.2 yard per return average. That's awesome. And then you see the punt return average 9.3. That's pretty decent. So this is a guy that, it allows you, if he can make the team, he challenges Ainias Smith, where we want to see Ainias Smith be able to handle both of those duties. So you don't have to, take up another roster spot there, another small guy. But this is somebody, in his career, he's averaged 10.9 yards per punt return and 22.4 kick return. But clearly, having that injury in 23 and then coming back, he had a good year, but they don't use him. And, dude, they moved him to running back, and that they have Bijan Robinson. Algier was there. They had Cordero Patterson there for, a couple of years ago, sorry. But Avery Williams still, a weapon. And best of luck to him. We'll see if he can make the team. But a good addition, because now this gives you somebody that, is a return specialist. So we'll take a look at the depth chart at the end, but I added all these guys like I do, and you'll see what this team looks like right now. And obviously, a lot of time left in free agency, the draft coming up, so no need to fear. Now, familiar face here, Patrick Johnson coming on home. So the 6'2", 248, 27-year-old going into his fifth season. And look, last year, 47 defensive snaps. He had 4 tackles, 1 quarterback hit, 1 pressure. No doubt. But you guys know who this is. And he was a 7th-round pick for the Eagles out of Tulane in 2021. The Giants claimed him last year after 1 game played for the Eagles. We waived him, and they picked him up. So I'm happy to have him back. I like his special teams prowess. He adds something on the edge as well for you. But, this is somebody familiar with this team. And I like Patrick Johnson. We know he's a depth piece. So excited to see if he can improve his game, continue to develop, and do something in this Vic Fangio defense. Now, the 4th player that we signed is somebody you guys know we already talked about a couple of weeks ago, talking about the top tight end fits. And, okay, so we got 2 of our top 5 tight end fits. So we got Harrison Bryant yesterday, and now we've got Granson. And as I mentioned with Granson, not, your blocking tight end. This guy, more of your receiving tight end, but he's not like great at route running and stuff. So he's not like a receiver, and his size, 6'3", 242. You talk about an athletic, that F-type tight end. And I think that for me, he's got a good skill set, but I don't know, man. I don't even know if he makes the team, but this is what we talked about. I think you add a couple of pieces in free agency, and then, you try to draft somebody, get some real competition going there at tight end. If they move on from Goddard, so be it. In the final year of his contract, we know we want to replace him. I would have rather have drafted his replacement already, but, you get something in return, you get something of value at this point, I would be all about it. And, for me, I'm all about competition. So go get it, Granson. So that adds to the list of free agents, signed, and also players that we traded for. So you can see these are the players that we have added so far on defense. Adoree Jackson and Patrick Johnson from the Giants. Josh Uche from the Chiefs, another one of my top fits. Very excited about this kid being here. Hughlett, obviously, special teamer. Avery Williams, the special teamer. But you got Harrison Bryant, A.J. Dillon, Kenyon Green, Dorian Thompson-Robinson the last couple of days, and obviously Granson, as we just mentioned. So you've got yourself 5, I guess maybe technically 6 offensive players. Avery Williams really just, a return guy with Charlie Hughlett, and then 3 defensive players there, a couple of pieces at the edge, and then, you get yourself a cornerback in Adoree Jackson. Now, the one thing about Patrick Johnson and Josh Uche that we've talked about is, their versatility, their ability to play off-ball linebacker, and they're not going to need to, but we're pretty slim right now, and we don't like to keep a lot. So emergency linebackers like our fullback, Ben Van Sumeren, and things like that help you make the roster. So a lot of good additions so far, and I know you're going to look at, websites and other shows, and they're going to give you a bad grade and tell you the Eagles are, failing this year. We just won the Super Bowl, you clowns, a month ago. We don't need to retool our entire offense. We're going to lose pieces. We all knew that. That's why we drafted people already. That's why we have young guys waiting in the wings. And people struggle to understand this stuff, but that's just how it works. And regardless of how upset people are and upset at me for telling you not to be upset, but I'm not telling you how to feel. You feel however you want. I'm just telling you, people that know how football works don't need to be whining. Like, my show doesn't need to be about dumb shit like everyone else and just whining about everything and talking about how much the Eagles suck and why this team's going to fail, because I don't believe that. Just like last year when everyone tried to tell me that, and I told you we would win the Super Bowl, and I showed you exactly how. That's what we're doing again this year. And, you're starting to see some things happen that we talked about. A lot of things so far this offseason, with, Bradbury and Slay and all the stuff that we get prepared for it so that we're ready for it, and we're ready to make a run here. And it's a building block period right now where you're just adding pieces. And it's day 3 officially of free agency. Clearly, it's like day 5 when you consider the tampering stuff. But you're going to have the draft next month. You're going to have so much time to build this roster. And if you feel, after the draft you didn't get something, you make a trade. So many things are possible for you. So I think so far I'm pretty excited about it. And we'll take a look at the rest of this stuff here in a second. Let me jump back over to the comments. Little G, appreciate you tuning in. Go effing Birds. And I'm all about them, drafting good players. Always. Well, this is what we do here on this channel, and I try my best. I'm not going to pick everybody or know all the moves that they're going to make, but, I try to look at it through Howie's lenses. And, you look at the players that fit what's going on. You talk about players they've liked before, things, they've met with them before, stuff where I don't understand why the media doesn't do it, but that's what I like to do. I like to know what's going on and try to give my educated opinion and guess on a lot of things that are going down. And that's why we call it sicko season. I spend a lot of time after I spend a lot of time at work, and I come home and try to do this stuff for you guys. So hey, you guys are the best. I can't do it without you. So I'll continue trying to predict who we sign and trade for and who we're going to draft and all that great stuff, but really just about the camaraderie here and enjoying football rather than having to always be so negative. And last year I really appreciated you guys, because everybody gave me a lot of heat for supporting, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni and obviously Jalen Hurts from day one. So I get a lot of hate for that stuff, but I think people see why now. We talked about being patient and watching players develop and why this would be the best defense. And they all got to find out real quick, right? Super Bowl champs. So let them keep sleeping. As I always say, let them keep hating. I'll keep educating. So F them. But I appreciate you, Tiffany. Really do. Too's good. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. That sucks, man. I hope that everything goes well with the new rescue. Sorry to hear that, dude. What do I think of all the moves so far? Well, that's what we're talking about here. Camp bodies to battle camp. Yeah, you always got to sign players to battle. That's why we talk about this every year. People lose their mind. I don't know, man. It's crazy out there. Yeah, it literally is. Yeah, let's take off. Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I hope you do. A lot of people give me a lot of slack over the years for that, but I think a lot of them have come around. So be patient. I promise you, these people are losing their minds for no reason. So that's why we talked about losing those players we were going to lose in advance, like last year. We do this every year with like Hassan Reddick. Talked about we were going to lose him. Everybody, we're not going to lose him. Oh, you're crazy. It's just part of the business. We didn't talk about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. It is what it is. But Sidney Brown, time to step it up. If not, Tristan McCollum, Andre Sam, Lewis Seen, who everybody wants to, talk about. But you could still add Justin Simmons. You could draft somebody. We've talked a lot about these things that we'll be talking about in depth very shortly here when it comes to draft players. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about the reserve future signing. So it's not just those free agents and the trade pieces that we've gotten. All of these guys were on the Eagles practice squad last season. These were the guys that were brought back to be part of the off-season battles. So, very excited about Gabe Hall still. like Andre Sam. We talked about a lot of these guys needing time to develop, and we'll see where their careers go. But, you got some intriguing pieces there. We mentioned, Saquon getting locked up. That's awesome. Needed to do that. So Howie has been busy, regardless of, Howie's been terrible. I see so much ridiculous stuff out there, and it's preposterous. But you brought back Zach Bond. That was the number one thing to do. We did it. And then you have Ben Van Sumeren, who, we talked about exclusive rights free agent. Why not bring him back? It doesn't cost you much at all, but brings that fullback / linebacker versatility, special teams ace. So very happy to have him back as well. And in those trades, you got rid of Gardner Johnson, but you swap those picks. You got a 5th, they got a 6th. You get a guy in Kenyon Green that maybe, can start a guard. Maybe he pushes Steen to be the starter, whatever it is. But you got a pick there. Then you got a pick with Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett there. So love that. Love DTR there. So pumped up about that. And then with your picks, we talk about, you've got 16 picks the next 2 years, but you're probably going to, right now you sit at 3 for next year. And I was showing you that graphic yesterday, messed it up today and couldn't finish it. So I didn't bring it with me. But we've got 3 potential. And right now it'd be a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th. So you would have 3 3rds in 2026, 2 4ths, and then you would get a 6th where you have 2 5ths. And so it'd be pretty wild, and we'll see who we continue to add and lose and all that stuff. But we still have a bunch of free agents. And I don't think really any of these guys that you see other than Mekhi Becton. So we talk about Becton when he gets signed, that's another one where you can get a comp pick for, maybe a 4th. We'll see what he gets signed for. But, I think that we're not really going to lose anyone that's going to cost us. So we should get, possibly 4 compensatory picks next year, and they could be good ones. So excited about that. I don't, again, really need to bring back anybody here, and definitely not Rick Lovato now, or maybe I don't know. But those are the guys that are still left. And then the players that are gone and on other teams now. See Gainwell and Pickett. Then on the offensive side of the ball, and then on the defensive side of the ball, you see Burks, Gardner Johnson, Rogers, Slay, Sweat, and Williams. And it always sucks to lose players, and a lot of fan favorites. You guys know how much I love Milton Williams. Big fan of Josh Sweat. Isaiah Rogers, Slay, Gardner Johnson, all gone. That's a bummer. I like Kenny G as well. But these are all things that we expected, minus the CJ Gardner Johnson. So, look, it's football. I don't ever get upset that, if they think that's the right move to make, if they think, injury history or something going on off the field or whatever it is, I'm just going to trust they know what they're doing and hope that things work out at that position. And, well, speaking of positions, let's take a look at them. Let's take a look at all those positions with all the players we've lost, now gone, or if they're just free agents. I don't have them on the list. So if you see the key at the bottom, you will see anyone in green are players that we signed or traded, and then the gray, reserve future guys. So that's how the offense right now, looking at it, you brought back Van Sumeren. Great. That's what we wanted. Becton's still a free agent, so Steen or Green, hopefully maybe even Keegan, try to get that job. And, this is still one of the best offensive lines, if not the best still. We'll see how whoever that is pans out. But, Goddard's here now. Maybe he gets traded. But you got Calcaterra, Bryant, Jenkins, Granson, Latu, Muse. You have competition there now. And wide receiver, we've talked about it. You got Wilson and Smith. Maybe look to add in this draft, for the future. I don't think you have to go too high because you got Dawson here. I feel wide receiver room is pretty damn good. Running backs with Barkley and Shipley, now A.J. Dillon there. Davis Price and Avery Williams, back end guys. But I think we talked about Williams, what he really brings to the table. So I think this is still going to be the best offense in the league. So let them move whatever goalpost they need. We win too much, we're too good, whatever it is. I love it. But that's what the offense looks like. Then the defense, you could see Zach Bond. He was brought back. And, anybody else, Moro Ajomo is in place of Milton Williams. Jalix Hunt taking the spot of Josh Sweat. Got Ringo in there for Darius Slay. Sidney Brown in there for CJ Gardner Johnson. So in-house guys. Now, there are other players that have, opportunities to win these jobs. Dory Jackson that was signed, Josh Uche could, compete with Jalix Hunt there, but they're all going to get their reps, and I'm excited for it. And, Booker and Hall and Young and Jomo all competing there. So we have competition. We have already drafted and signed players the past couple of years that are supposed to be part of the future, and whether they are or not is up to, them and the coaches next, this upcoming offseason, where, you find out if these guys fit or they see what they like. We'll find out soon enough, but I like where we sit right now with the foundation. Now, again, you can still sign players, and we will. Still trade for players, and we have the draft coming up, so just stay patient. This is nowhere near complete. But the special teams got a little upgrade here today, and you can see Charlie Hughlett, now the long snapper, and then Avery Williams put in place of both because he can do both, and I like that. And if he wants to win the job, great. If not, I would love to see Anaya Smith doing that. Will Shipley, I'd like to see a bigger role on offense, but A.J. Dillon's here now, so maybe he's your kick returner. John Dotson can punt return. I have him there because I do not want to see Cooper DeJean. Thank you very much. I like his return ability, but he's too important on defense. So please do not put him back there. But other guys are here. You're going to need other guys to do that stuff in the off season. So all about it. All about it, ladies and gentlemen. But this is going to be another fun off season. I promise you. And Howie, we're just getting started here. Like, just began a few days ago, 4:00. And I know people are very impatient about what's going on, but this is why I always preach patience, because it's a long road ahead, but it's all on the road to victory. So let me know your thoughts on this. I am going to be rolling out here in a couple of minutes. I told you I had to try to make this a quick one, but tomorrow you're going to I'm going to make a recap video of all the players we signed, some things like that. I've got some other things planned, and then I'm also doing the top free agents remaining video, and I think it's like I was somewhere around like 120 of the top guys, because I'm doing like the top 10, some more, some less, because they don't have like fullback at each position. So we'll talk about the top remaining free agents at each position, where the Eagles should be looking, all that stuff coming your way this weekend. Keeping this free agent frenzy alive and well. And I understand it. I understand people are pissed off about things and all that stuff, but not me. Not me. And I'm ready for that draft too. I cannot wait. I can't wait for this season start. And it just ended. We're like, that's how I am. That's a true sicko. So let's go. Free agent, man. Does he count against comp picks? No, if you don't lose him, then he doesn't not count because you didn't lose him. No, you don't. If you don't lose him, then yeah. So do I think Goddard's here? I don't. He back. Do I think we'll trade him? As we talked about, it's always a possibility when you're getting older in the final year, and if you go after, but tight end, Michael Mayer, for the Raiders, somebody gives you a good draft pick. There's a good tight end you like. You could do anything. So yeah, we've talked about that a lot. I think Goddard, is always going to be one of my favorites, but it's just an unfortunate part of the business. So we'll see. Well, coaches always have input, and, when they're respected coaches and people that know what they talk about and, important to what, you're running for your team, they're always going to, be part of this stuff. And, that's why we're such a good team. So, and, it is what it is, but a couple more bond type. Well, with Uche, we've clearly, I talked about him last year. We talked about him a couple weeks ago, hopeful that the Eagles would sign him, still very young. And he has that ability to, play off ball, just like Zach Bond did when we talked about that last year. Zach Bond. Everybody was mad at me that I like Zach Bond. And it's like, well, dude, when you have that versatility and can play in Vic Fangio's defense, Vic Fangio sucks, everybody sucks. It's like, they don't, dude. If you just maybe stop and listen and learn for a second, but people don't ever want to do that. So I don't know, man. I tried. So that's what we're trying to do again this offseason, is show people these players before it happens. That's why we talked about Uche, because he's somebody I feel is going to have the possibility to be special here. Now, Green, he's going to have to beat out Tyler Steen if he wants to, get that job. But we'll see, man. I love for players to work out when we get them. That's what I mean with Howie. They always talk to their coaches. Like, they don't ignore them or anything. They're always working together. It's a team effort here. Obviously, Howie's the final decision maker. But, there's a whole bunch of guys that are under him on the coaching staff. But this is a team effort, man. And I think, this is why we're so good. It's a brotherhood from top to bottom. So I'm excited for this season. I block it all out. I've luckily been very, very busy, and I think that I enjoy that. It sucks because I really want to be on top of this free agent stuff and wish I could make videos earlier for you and everything. But look, I love that you guys have bared with me here, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But I will, again, do the recap video this weekend. The free agents available. Anything else happens, we'll do a recap. We'll talk about all that stuff. But I appreciate you guys taking the time here this Friday night. I'm really beat. It has been a very, 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 very long week. And, I'm looking forward to this weekend, having some time off, sitting back, talking some birds with you. So I hope to see you throughout the weekend. Do appreciate you guys taking the time to comment throughout the day, the week. All the love you guys have been sharing for this free agent stuff, the cap stuff, all that stuff. I do my best to try to keep you ahead of the curve. And look, I tell you this, but I mean it. I can't do it without you. So appreciate you all taking the time here tonight, hitting that like button, sharing and subscribing. If you enjoyed it, it means the world to me. Thank you. If you need anything, I'm always here for you guys, as you are for me. Love each and every one of you. I hope you know that. I hope you're ready for a great weekend. Let's effing go, baby. And go check out all that content we put out this week. You'll see all the recaps on all the players we've added. But if not, try to tune in this weekend and you'll see it all. But have yourselves a great rest of your Friday night. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me now. Go Birds! I just wanted to stop by and let you know that sounded very, very pathetic. But as I told you guys, I have something feels like almost a torn pec, so it hurts to even talk loud. But that was just unacceptable, and I will not allow it. So as always, go Birds!